This week on Beacon Web News, reporter Mei Craig speaks with a new physics professor at MCLA and talks to health services about the flu clinics that are being offered to the MCLA community. I compare how MCLA is handling the pandemic to other colleges in Massachusetts. That's all coming up next on Beacon Web News. Hello and welcome to the October 7th episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Sym Kehr. SGA elections are now open. Students can vote until 7 p.m. on October 7th through their Canvas page. Be sure to go and vote for your student body representatives. The MCLA Alumni Association will be hosting Trailblazing the Path Career Roundtable. This week's topic will be on arts education. This event will include panelists who are working in the arts education field and will share their stories. This event is open to students and graduates from the last decade. The roundtable will be on October 8th from 6 to 7 p.m. The link for the event can be found at alumni.mcla.edu/event calendar. Join Christian Fellowship for a Bible study reading on October 7th from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. on Zoom. All are welcome to attend the event. Hosted by MCLA's Gallery 51, multimedia artist O.M. France Viana will be speaking at the upcoming virtual event on October 10th from noon to 1 p.m. You can register for the event on Zoom, and a recording of the discussion will also be live on BCRC YouTube playlist for later viewing. And now, from the Beacon. Vice President of Student Affairs Catherine Holbrook discussed the MCLA's response to the spring 2019 SSI results. Holbrook shared how MCLA is handling the comments made by students and implementing the decision on campus. Jeff Flake, former Arizona Republican Senator, spoke at the Michael S. and Kitty Dukakis Public Policy Lecture via Zoom on Thursday, October 1st. Flake discussed trends inside and outside of Congress. English and Arts Management major Destiny Rivera is the creator of Empowered Voices Collective, an online blog that features poetry, free writing, and photography here at MCLA. SGA discussed voting and committee reports at their last meeting. They met via Microsoft Teams, having a live question and answer session. That was the last meeting for Dean Little as SGA president. You can check out these and other stories from the Beacon at theonlinebeacon.com or pick up a copy all over campus. With a new school year comes new faculty. Reporter Mei Craig spoke with Thomas Burton, assistant professor of physics.
This week on Beacon Web News, I interviewed new assistant physics professor Thomas Burton on what his transition has been like here during COVID-19.
I chose MCLA primarily because being a smaller school, I knew that I would have a much better chance of getting like a really close forming like a really close relationship with my students. It being a smaller school with a really strong focus on teaching and having a really well-rounded education was really important to me. I actually grew up in New England. I grew up in New Hampshire. But I went to Virginia Tech for my undergraduate. I got an undergraduate in a field called material science and engineering. So my background is actually in engineering. And then from there, I went and did my graduate work at the University of Alabama. In order to identify and teach with all of the practical expectations that they have with wanting to maintain social distancing and masking. Like for our labs, we have to keep people 6 feet apart. People aren't allowed to work together anymore. So it just provides, it creates an inherent barrier to students working together, which is really what we want from our physics classes. We really want students working together, studying together, doing their labs together, doing their homework together, because science is so much easier and more enjoyable to learn if you don't have to learn it yourself, if you don't have to learn it in a vacuum, if you can learn it with other people, especially other students. The rest of the pandemic stuff has just been, needing to record all of these classes on Teams. And there's just been so many extra steps involved. And some of them have been good. I don't think it's bad to have to record your lectures. But then to have to record them and get them up and then try and get transcripts for students and then try and edit those transcripts. A lot of those steps I think are important to making sure that we are breaking down the barriers that some people have. The community here is incredibly friendly. They're incredibly supportive. They're just amazing, and they're thoughtful and they're kind people. And I couldn't ask for a better, more supportive group of people to work with.
For Beacon Web News, I'm Mei Craig.
The coronavirus pandemic has been a concern for many when colleges started opening up. Some schools have closed campuses shortly after opening because of the rapid increases in positive cases. Here we will look at what some Massachusetts schools are doing to keep infection rates low in order to avoid the disruptions that many other schools have gone through. MCLA took on precautions to help prevent the spread of the virus across campus. Students signed a trailblazer agreement at the start of the semester, stating they would comply with the new regulations. According to an email from August 6th sent by Vice President of Student Affairs Catherine Holbrook, the regulations include wearing a face covering in public when outside your own room or home. Students are to monitor their health daily and to stay home if they are sick or running a fever. Frequent hand washing or use of hand sanitizer if washing is not possible. And students are expected to take a COVID test when asked to do so by the college, and also respond to requests made by contact tracers. Students were tested on move-in day and then once a week for 3 weeks. As of September 28th, 25% of the residential student body will be chosen at random to receive a test. This will take place every week until Thanksgiving. Commuters, faculty, and staff can receive a test monthly. In the same email, guidelines were written on keeping the campus sanitized. Regulations include fogging classrooms at least twice a day and to supply the rooms with disinfectant. Bathrooms, offices, common areas, and elevators are to be fogged at least once a day. Sanitizing spray will be placed in bathrooms and offices as well. Residence areas will also have a heightened cleaning schedule. The Williams College Fall 2020 Guide on Returning to Campus states students are asked to wear masks in all indoor spaces except for residential areas when by oneself or with pod members. As of September 30th, students will be tested twice a week. Williams has a health commitment that students are asked to follow, and disciplinary actions will be taken if the guidelines are not adhered to. Faculty and staff in regular contact with other campus personnel are required to get tested weekly. As of October 5th, residential students are permitted to travel off campus for groceries, prescriptions, personal care items, and for hair care. Travel is restricted to Route 2 from Williamstown to North Adams and Route 8 to Walmart. Any other travel must be approved by the Dean of Students. According to the University of Massachusetts Amherst website, face masks are required. Ventilation has been changed to supply 100% outside air. The Mullen Center is cleaned every night and throughout the day. There's also a UMass Amherst community agreement outlining the rules students must follow. Residential students and commuters are to be tested twice a week along with clinical faculty. Staff and faculty are to be tested weekly. The Worcester State University campus has a mutual contract of social responsibility. Guidelines outlined include self-monitoring of symptoms, wearing masks, washing hands, social distancing, keeping spaces clean, and participate in testing and contact tracing. There's a daily sanitizing of all campus physical spaces. There is conflicting information on Worcester's site about whether travel is restricted for students or not. Residential students, commuter students who have one class on campus are required to be tested weekly. Staff members who have high-level contact with students and faculty teaching only face-to-face will be tested weekly. Staff who will be on campus less frequently and faculty who teach in blended formats are to be tested every other week. As of September 30th, MCLA has done a total of 2,224 tests with 3 positive tests, according to the MCLA website. President Burge stated in an interview that only one of those tests was an actual case of the virus. This results in a 0.13% positive rate on campus. Williams College has conducted 17,215 tests since August 17th, according to their dashboard. There have been a total of 5 positive tests, 4 were from students and 1 from faculty and staff. University of Massachusetts Amherst has conducted a total of 70,168 tests since August 6th. They've seen a total of 124 cases on campus. Worcester State University has conducted a total of 7,864 tests and has had a total of 6 positive cases, according to the university's website. So far, the positive rates of all these schools have been below the statewide average of about 1%. Fall brings the flu. To help combat this, the MCLA Health Services offers flu shot clinics so the MCLA community can get their vaccines. Mei Craig spoke with Health Services to learn more about what the clinics are doing.
Flu season happening, I interviewed Jacqueline Krasnick from Health Services to discuss the new protocols that they have in place for their flu clinic.
We always had the flu clinic, or we tried to put it in the central location of the marketplace in the past. And with COVID and trying to be respectful of social distancing, having it outside in the quad, does seem to be a more popular location. Health Systems is one of the pharmacies that are coming, which is the local healthcare institution, and Walgreens Pharmacy is the other. Every student, kindergarten through college age, is required to get the flu vaccine this year, and the cutoff for that is December 31st. I would encourage take advantage of the current flu clinics that we're having, and present proof of your flu vaccine to health services once you do receive it. Companies that are providing the flu vaccine are requiring exactly that. You have to fill out a form and attest to not being allergic to certain things and that you're not currently ill, and then they'll administer the flu vaccine. We didn't have as many flu clinics in the past, so I would say in the past anywhere between 200 and 300 students and actually faculty or staff, it's open to the entire MCLA campus. So just trying to be mindful of locations and space and allowing folks to remain social distant from each other. And of course, everyone would need to wear their mask.
The next 3 flu clinic dates will be October 7th, October 16th, and October 21st in the Quad from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For Beacon Web News, I'm Mei Craig.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and if you want to learn more about the campaign and spread awareness about the disease, then virtually stop by the Women's Center on October 14th, where they will educate you more about breast cancer. The time is yet to be determined for the event. The Center for Student Success and Engagement will be hosting Mic Drop, Amplifying Your Voice. The topic for the event will be issues related to race, civic opportunity, and responsibility. The event will be on October 14th at 4:30 p.m. The link for the event can be found on the MCLA Events app or go to mcla.presence.io. Want to learn more about high-quality special effects Halloween makeup? Then stop by the Volunteer Center on October 17th virtually from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. To register for the event, email dropin@rootsteencenter.com. That's it for this week. To stay up to date with BWN, you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MCLA BWN. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.